The relationship between China and America has escalated, not just economically, but also in outer space. Ongoing tensions and threats have been exchanged. China is considering possibly destroying Elon Musk's Starlink satellites, but Elon Musk is not backing down. The question remains, will China actually take action against the satellites belonging to Elon Musk, or will the American billionaire retaliate by targeting China's own satellites? Let's find out. But first, subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Recently, an American businessman reported that Washington suspects the military shot down a Chinese balloon that entered U.S. airspace near the coast of South Carolina. The purpose of the balloon was believed to be espionage. Elon Musk claims that a fighter jet was responsible for shooting down the balloon. Fortunately, it did not explode, but instead crashed immediately. The downed balloon fell into the Atlantic Ocean, where it will be either retrieved or studied further through its debris. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union conducted experiments with anti-satellite weapons. Essentially, these rockets left a significant amount of space debris after reaching their target. However, the development of such weapons ceased in the 1980s. In more recent times, China has started to pursue a similar path. In 2007, China conducted a test launch of an anti-satellite rocket that successfully destroyed an old meteorological satellite. Nonetheless, China recognized that this approach contributed to pollution in space and sought a safer way to reach outer space. According to reports from Chinese media, the country's scientists have been working on non-destructive technologies for satellite destruction in recent years. One such system is designed to suppress ground-based visual navigation, communication, and surveillance methods. Additionally, they have developed suborbital maneuvering platforms that can capture enemy satellites. These capture systems, including the Pentagon's formidable robotic arm, are among the most concerning. Elon Musk is a well-known entrepreneur and inventor who has significantly contributed to space exploration and electric vehicles. It's worth noting that Elon Musk has also been involved in collaborating with the Pentagon on development of advanced weapons and technologies. Some people speculate that the UFO sightings we see online nowadays could be attributed to Musk's work. It's important to clarify that satellite capture systems are not officially classified as weapon systems. They serve a necessary purpose in performing repairs, conducting space restoration operations, and removing space debris from the near-Earth orbit. However, these systems can potentially be utilized for redirecting enemy satellites. A common characteristic of the methods mentioned above for neutralizing satellites is that they involve some form of satellite tracking. New weapon prototypes developed on Earth are incredibly expensive and designed to avoid leaving behind any debris. These weapons infiltrate the nozzle of the satellite's engine and remain there until their mission is completed. Modern satellites typically use a specific type of rocket engine nozzle called a Lovel nozzle, which features a throat within the exhaust system to enhance gas flow efficiency. The robotic anti-satellite mine enters the nozzle with its barrel extending into a narrowing section where a holding hole is located. A mine equipped with 3.5 kilograms of explosives can stay inside the satellite nozzle indefinitely and be triggered to exit without destroying the satellite. However, it can be also detonated on command if necessary. In essence, China can disrupt everything in space, which can go unnoticed until all systems cease to function. Proving sabotage in such cases can be challenging as it resembles a machinery malfunction. Furthermore, a precisely calculated explosion targeted at a spacecraft can disable its equipment without physically destroying it. Now the question arises, why would any party like Deep Park want to employ this weapon to destroy Elon Musk's satellites? Well, the answer relies on the fact that the intense political climate worldwide and the effectiveness of the Starlink system is in conflicts. The success of intelligence operations in Ukraine owes much to the data obtained from Elon Musk's satellites. China has closely observed these events from the beginning and understands that in a direct conflict with NATO, it would have little chance unless it neutralizes Starlink, the primary weapon of the United States. Such a conflict is a real possibility. Even before the Ukraine conflict, relations between China and the United States were already highly strained. The trade war and subsequent escalation of the Taiwan dispute have further heightened tensions between Beijing and Washington. As early as January 2022, the Chinese ambassador to the United States cautioned that a military conflict between the two nations could arise over the future status of Taiwan. In his first interview since assuming office, Chinese Ambassador Qin Gang accused Taiwan of leading towards independence. It stated if the Taiwanese authorities, with the support of the United States, continue on the path of independence, it could result in a military conflict involving two major powers, China and the United States. This statement deviates from China's usual rhetoric, which usually says more general expressions such as accusing the U.S. of playing with fire. While it's widely believed that the U.S. would come to Taiwan's defense in the event of a war, although no official agreement explicitly obligates them to do so. Notably, the new Chinese ambassador of the U.S. previously held the chief officer position for diplomatic protocol under President Xi Jinping. This indicates a close relationship with the highest authorities in the People's Republic of China. Shortly after his appointment, he stated whether an actual military conflict between the U.S. and China will occur remains uncertain. However, Beijing's pressure and rhetoric should compel Washington to shift some of its resources from Russia to China. China has progressed to the point where Chinese military researchers are issuing threats to destroy Elon Musk's Starlink satellites. The concern does not solely stem from the fear of conflict, but rather from the belief that Starlink could be utilized for military purposes and threaten national security. China has recruited 5 prominent scientists from the Chinese defense industry led by Hen Runanen, a researcher at the Beijing Institute of Surveillance and Communications, which operates under the jurisdiction of the Strategic Support Unit of the People's Liberation Army. In a recent article, Platt discussed the importance of utilizing software and hardware to disable Starlink and dismantle its operating system. Software-based destruction methods aim to disrupt the software and operating system of the satellites, while hardware-based destruction methods involve physically damaging the satellites, potentially using anti-satellite weapons. According to experts, China should develop robust countermeasures against Starlink as part of its efforts to establish and maintain space dominance in a highly competitive space arena. Elon Musk's acknowledgement of the threat posed to Starlink by China is further evidence of China's determination to protect its interests in what he describes as an intense space competition. These developments underscore the significance of the space domain in today's world. General David Thompson has also commented on this matter. The U.S. Space Command's first Deputy Director of Space Operations refers to the ongoing conflict in space as a shadow war, potentially downplaying the threat posed by China and Russia to the West. China and Russia engage in daily attacks against American satellites using lasers, radio interference, and cyber attacks. Although the damage caused by these satellites is currently reversible and not permanent, it signifies China's malicious intentions. This threat is continuously growing and evolving, and according to General Thompson, in November 2020, there's a wide range of threats targeting space systems. In addition to its ruthless space competition, China is advancing several projects to enhance its space capabilities. One notable project involves launching a solar power plant into space, converting solar energy into microwaves and lasers to provide electricity to Earth. China plans to execute the first launch in 2028, making it a pioneering space endeavor. China has also been developing its Tiangong space station, sending human-crewed flights and constructing additional modules. The space station will facilitate the operation of Taiwan's X and Space Telescope, which will conduct significant research on various topics. China aims to establish itself as the leading global space power by 2045. It's important to remember that China's space program is heavily militarized, despite its portrayal as primarily focused on peaceful exploration. For instance, the China Manned and Space Technology Administration, responsible for the Chinese manned space program, reports to the Equipment Development Department of the Central Military Commission of China. The People's Liberation Army also operates Chinese spaceports, control centers, and numerous Chinese satellites. While it may be coincidental or fortunate, no concrete proof exists that Elon Musk intends to assist the Chinese space program. There is speculation that Elon Musk is collaborating with the Chinese space program, but no conclusive evidence supports this claim. A document emphasizes China's need to develop countermeasures to destroy satellites if they threaten national security. Researchers have pointed out the close connections between Starlink and the U.S. military, with the U.S. Air Force funding tests to evaluate the effectiveness of communication between Starlink satellites and military aircraft in encrypted form. Elon Musk also mentioned previously providing satellite access to the Ukrainian military for military purposes. It's important to remember that Starlink offers significant advantages to its owners. Unlike traditional communication infrastructure such as relay stations and submarine cables, Starlink satellites are challenging to destroy. Well, that's it for today. What do you think? Feel free to let us know in the comments section below. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click that bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.